Hello, friends. Today we are going to talk about object oriented programming. What are the key features? What are the building blocks? What are the principles of object oriented programming? What are the key benefits and some examples of it? So, object oriented programming basically is a programming language which is different from the traditional languages like C, which we used to do earlier. And the prime uh, idea behind this programming is that it organizes the design around objects. Objects are nothing but the actual implementation of classes, and that typically comprises two things: one, data, and the methods that operate on that data. So, key building blocks of object oriented programming, there are four of them. One, that is class. It's a basically you can see class as a blueprint or a template, for an individual object, and it comprises of attributes and methods. Methods are, the functions that operate on the data or the attributes. Attribute, like I said, they are the variables or data points that are part of that class, and objects are actual implementation of that class. So example here on the yellow block, employee is a class. It has two attributes. One is employee ID and another is employee name. Class contains two methods to operate on this data: get employee ID and name and set employee ID and name. So if you see, class is nothing but a template. And objects are actual implementation of these templates. So there could be one or more. Like for example, one of the object of this class could be John. He has his own employee ID, his name, and that particular object will allow to set and get employee ID and name for John, and so on. There are four principles of object-oriented programming. The very first is encapsulation. It says that all the data, information within the object is hidden and only provided to outside world only when it is required. All other objects that are not directly related only able to access public methods or publicly exposed methods from this class. As an example, in Java, the encapsulation is achieved by grouping the data and methods within the class. Principle 2, abstraction. This concept calls out to show only the essential attributes and hides all unnecessary data. So abstraction can be achieved by using abstract class or interfaces. Inheritance, which is the third principle, this says that class can reuse the code from other classes and thereby making the programming easier and simpler and more organized. The concept is to transfer the attributes or methods from one class, typically which is called the parent class or superclass, to another class which is a subclass or child class. Principle 4 is polymorphism. The key idea behind that is objects share the same design and behavior, and they can take one or more of the forms. When program executes, the behavior will actually determine which form or which usage is right for execution of that object. In Java, it can be achieved in two different ways. One, by doing the method overloading, where there will be multiple methods, they have same name and same signature from parent class to subclass, and a dynamic polymorphism, which is basically nothing but method overriding. Here, different methods can have same name, but the signature, that is the number of parameters that are passed into the method, are different. So based on how the method is invoked, what are the parameters that are passed, that different version of method or different flavor of that particular method will be executed. Four benefits, or there are more actually to call out from OOPS programming. It reduces complexity because we are breaking everything into small templates and create objects out of it, which has their own data and methods. Code reusability and redundant code elimination, because we are doing inheritance and we reuse the class codes and attributes. Flexibility, we can have multiple flavors of similar methods with dynamic or static polymorphism. Security, when we hide the unnecessary data and function of a particular class or an object, that's how we achieve the data abstraction. Take an example of a car. We know that there is a button to start the car and the same button used to stop the car, right? There is a steering to turn right or left or steer the car. That is what is exposed to the user, and we feel that's how we drive the car. But what are the internal functions when we press that button or turn the steering? Those are the internal things, internal working of the cars, which are hidden and not required for user to know. That's exactly what we are trying to achieve in object-oriented programming. We just expose what is required. There are some of the popular object-oriented programming languages like Java, C#, .NET, Python, and C++. I know it's a little overwhelming and confusing. We'll learn more about this with real-world examples, programming snippets, how the object-oriented programming works, and how we write code around that. Thank you for watching.